5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Words Worth of Podcast. It's your girl Bree Stories.
It's Tasha Noasia.
And it's A Tati.
Hi. So today the main word is, you guessed it, fuckboys, because this is a plague. A plague. It's a plague that we are cursed with over and over, time and time again. I'm pretty sure we probably had some conversations around this before, but we're just going to revisit it based off of a main theme. We're going to get to that a little bit later. Before we do that, let's check in.
Okay. I'm hot, everybody, as you can see. I'm battling a cold.
Menopause.
Damn.
No, I don't want to battle menopause. I wouldn't mind, though. Just because I wouldn't want to cycle anymore. But I still
You would
have
hate
a
those
child.
hot flashes.
But I still want a child.
No,
though.
you would be
You
upset.
would die in those hot
Yeah.
flashes.
But anyway, because I already be sweating. But, so...
Sweat.
Whew, I didn't pop a Molly. Anyway.
Pop a Molly.
So I feel physically, I feel hot and sweaty and just sick. But not. I don't feel sick, but I am sick. If that makes sense. I don't know. It's complicated.
You're not sick, but you feel sick, you mean?
I'm
so you
sick.
are sick, so you lied.
I'm sick, but I
She
don't
doesn't
feel sick. It's sinus stuff, not like contagious.
You are sick.
I have a sinus. Look,
Just
everybody.
hilarious. Like, don't you hate when somebody be like just coughing and sneezing and they be like, oh, it's just allergy. So you be like,
doesn't
you be like, I don't give a fuck.
But no,
Don't cough on me.
I would never cough.
They be like,
don't cough.
But emotionally, I feel good.
I feel good. I love when you do that.
My emotions have been pretty good.
What is, you have to give us an emotion.
I'm trying to think of a good emotion. I feel happy, joy,
Joy.
excited, horny
Yeah.
because of these mimosas.
They
They go straight to my vagina. I don't know what to say to you. Oh my gosh, I'm like sweating. Oh, I want to be like Beyonce. Yeah, I shaved my mustache earlier too.
Oh,
so.
nice. So it's real smooth.
Yeah. See, I wasn't sweating this bad before I had a little hair up there to trap it. But no, so my
That's actually
attention
hilarious.
is on me. I just got a promotion at my job, so
Congrats.
thanks everybody. Yeah, so
Wow.
now I'm not only pimping y'all sons, but y'all daddies too. That was the promotion.
So that means men and grandpas.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Anyway.
Because the son's got to be of age.
Yeah.
That's funny.
But anyway, so yeah,
No
that's what my
minors.
attention is on, just getting ready to transition into like that new position or whatever.
Is that a
Right.
funny word to you too?
Transition? It is.
It made
now.
me like, in my head, I was like,
It's not what you think. This is not insensitive. I'm sorry. That is insensitive.
Ooh,
I'm
I
sorry.
don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
And spiritually, I feel good. I'm looking at an elephant. I love elephants. That's my spirit animal.
Oh my, how dare you talk to me like that?
No, behind you. Bitch, I was looking at you.
That's
How
great.
dare you talk
That would
to
have
me
been such a good, like, passive insult.
No,
like,
no.
Kiki Palmer. Janet.
Janet.
Those are
I do
actually my
love
favorite
those.
things.
Yeah, I do
Sorry.
love those.
It's Audra has the floor.
No one ever has cared about me.
This is facts.
But,
I'm gonna start giving you what you want.
Elephants
You
and
keep saying
facts.
nobody cares about me.
Thank you.
Nobody
She
listens
needs
to
that.
me. I'm gonna just tell you this truth.
y'all. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want too. These hands, that's what y'all fucking want.
I got
Give it
so
to me, baby.
excited.
I'm begging for
So
him.
just so little.
They are, but they pack a mean punch. They pack a mighty blow. That's what the mama said in soul food. They pack a mighty blow.
You're crazy.
Are you still checking in?
No.
You said how you feel spiritually.
I said, yeah, I feel good. I'm looking at an elephant.
You said attention.
Oh, right.
Animal.
What was her
Her attention was on transitioning to her promotion.
Oh, right.
Okay,
Sure, sure.
Tati.
Oh, so physically.
That was a nice sound.
Physically, I feel comfortable.
I love that.
This horrible heat wave that we've been going through lately in the shy. And I don't have no air right now in my house. So it's been like death. It's been like cremation. It's horrible. So it feels great to be in a central air conditioned home at the time. So I feel very comfortable. Like I'm good. Emotionally, I feel eager. Is that what they put one for emotionally? Yeah. Like eager or like not anxiety.
But is it stemming
like,
from joy? There are 5 core emotions.
No.
Is it stemming from fear?
No. Like just anticipation. Like anticipation.
Of what?
I mean.
Is it a happy
I was
thing?
gonna.
I'm
I mean,
trying to
depending
find
on
the
the
core
outcome, it would be happy or not. I mean,
Did you get an HIV test?
I'm away. No.
Oh.
I'm awaiting.
Abrasive today.
I'm awaiting a response
camera.
that I'll share with you guys next week once I receive my response. But I'm just anticipating an answer to a new endeavor that I'm trying to embark on.
Nice.
Can we not off camera?
Yeah, sure.
She can't. She cannot deal with like not knowing.
Yeah, no. Oh no, that's one of my biggest pet peeves. Like if you start talking about something, you be like, never mind. I'ma never mind your ass because
Yeah, I don't like that either. That's very insensitive.
yeah. Ooh.
It is. It's
To
very
change my mind about my business that I don't want to tell.
because you started sharing with me, so that's insensitive to then stop. Like, never mind. Like,
Tomatoes.
but my
Pick your
attention,
hairs out of your nose.
I would love that. My attention is on these fools.
I'm sorry.
Because we've been wilding since we started. So my attention is on that and just how funny we are. And
You're so sincere.
and
Spill it.
huh?
Just spill it.
And my spirit is at peace.
Yes.
MJM Kid,
Oh.
Me.
would you like to check in?
That's what I'm about.
Because I looked at
I have a
Bree
question
first.
for you. I feel like I call you a lot of different things.
Yeah.
When it comes to like business, when I talk to people who, are wondering who does our videos and who does like all of our stuff, like, what do you want me to say? Because I'm always just like, I feel like I switch off every time someone asks. Like I
Say all
usually
the
venture
names.
to my best friend Michael,
Yeah.
but usually it's also like, oh, his name is Michael McGee, or like, oh, he goes by MJM Kid.
All that's great to me.
Okay.
I feel like I just say producer.
I
And
just
then
say
give them
producer.
But they always ask me who he is. Like, so
Yeah.
I'm like, Michael, or
Right.
Yeah.
I'll
Or
say a lot of
MJ,
things
yeah.
about you.
Okay, girl, we can handle this when this camera goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Physically, I feel nice and warm and toasty. Fucked up. That's where I'm fucked up.
he said that
We're
last time.
annoying as a group. Because she wasn't even there when she started doing
She
it.
wasn't there.
The fact that she like jumped
Y'all
in on
sucked
that
it.
is
Good.
so irritating.
But that's my favorite thing to say.
Michael
though.
is so contagious.
Okay.
I
No, he
can't
is
deal with him.
Physically, I'm feeling contagious.
That's a real
That's a good thing to be though.
Yeah, it is.
That's
Emotionally, I feel understood and just very content. You know, I'm pretty on solid ground emotionally. My attention is currently on always just the upcoming week and what needs to be done, and just knocking out tasks and things. And spiritually, I feel balanced as hell. So,
Yes.
thank you, God.
You want a shirt?
Janet.
That is also
No,
that's
I'm
a
not.
great thing that she started.
Yeah, it is.
Hi, it's Bree Stories. Physically, I still feel a little congested. I was fucked up, y'all, off allergies this past week. It was awful. I had to go to the doctor and everything. So I got, but I got a prescription, child, and I'm getting this right on together. So I'm taking some stuff daily for the rest of my life now because I don't ever want to go through this ever again.
What
So
is
I'm,
it?
Are you on?
it's like prescription Flonase.
Oh,
But it's like
I
a-
have a prescription like it's Zizal, but I don't take it every day.
you should to just regulate it because then.
But then I don't want to
what my
become
doctor
immune to it. I just do it when I know I'm coming in contact with like animals and stuff. That's what my allergies
And look
are
at
the
you
worst.
right now.
Actually, I feel
Sniffling and sweating.
Don't you have a dog?
Yeah, but she's hypoallergenic.
Contact with
She's hypoallergenic.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so physically, I'm still feeling a little hint of congestion just in my ENTs, and emotionally, bitch, shut the fuck up. Emotionally, I'm feeling joy. I'm feeling very just excited. I made a connection today, and y'all will read it in the blog post that I put out later today. Well, by the time you see this, it'll been out for a few days. But I made a connection today about what not hiding with my hair, what not hiding behind my hair is doing for my confidence, and it's doing the same thing for me when I decided to not shave my pubes for 365 days. It gives you a confidence. It forces a confidence upon you because it's like, what are you gonna do, girl? This is what it looks like. You gotta, you kind of just gotta immerse yourself in that and be like, okay. Because last night we got teed and I was a different person. Not really, but considering the newness of my hair, I thought I would be a little bit more timid, a little bit more I don't really want everybody's eyes on me. But I was in that bitch and it was great.
That's because I gave you those words of encouragement.
Which
on
ones?
Instagram.
Pop that pussy?
I told her to walk up to the finest nigga in the room and be like, you ever got hair from a bald-headed nasty bitch before?
Are you serious?
You did that?
I did not do that.
Oh.
She told me she was.
I actually got weak this morning though when I said I was gonna talk to a white boy. He was like, "Yes, diversity." Anyway, so emotionally, that's where I am. My attention is currently on. My attention is on all of the things that I have at hand. I had a questionable tarot reading this morning with myself, so I'm just trying to pay close attention to myself and making sure that I'm not lying to nobody or not holding myself accountable in any way. And spiritually, I feel in charge. I feel like I'm leading. So I feel co-creative with my God is how I feel.
My God is an awesome God. He reigns from heaven
that's a song,
with wisdom, power, and love. My God is an awesome God. Now I will say I can fucking sing. When I be sick,
You can fucking sing.
I can fucking sing.
Not now, I will.
That's what Kanye would do.
That's your best attribute. But what I do know is that I can sing.
I
Okay.
can fucking sing.
Let's get into the Discovery Zone, shall we, Tati?
So, if you guys paid attention to my last week's Praises Due, which was to J. Cole's interview with Angie Martinez. So, and hopefully you guys all tuned into that. And in that interview, he talked about his song 1985, where people felt like he was kind of dissing Lil Pump. Because Lil Pump had been kind of on just always saying fuck J. Cole for some random
That's
reason.
what Lil Pump be saying?
At one point.
Lil Pump say Gucci Gang, Gucci Gang? That's him?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. But he was saying
80 years old.
fuck J. Cole, and he had this whole little miniature cult following of little kids that would all be like, yeah, fuck J. Cole. Or
That's like Joseph
and,
Chilliam
some
saying
other
fuck Bow Wow
rappers.
at his show. The whole crowd is just like, fuck Bow Wow.
Ooh.
Fuck Bow
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I don't know if he was
Just
doing it at
random.
shows necessarily, but in general that was a thing.
But I feel like
that
it's
they
something
said.
that rappers are doing now.
Yeah.
Just having random people.
You said
So-
Joseph Chilliam?
Joseph Chilliams, it doesn't matter.
So
He's a
J.
great
Cole wrote his song 1985, which was basically him. And what I learned, he said he kind of wrote that before he knew about the whole fuck J. Cole thing. But
Interesting.
at least he had started it before.
Right.
Oh, I understand that.
But in that song, he's basically saying he didn't say Lil Pump's name, but he's talking about all these young rappers that's tatted up and doing all this crazy shit. Just basically make sure y'all being smart at the same time. Don't just be out here being dumb with your money and your fame and all that shit. So anyways, J. Cole ended up finally actually meeting Lil Pump, and turned out that Lil Pump actually didn't have any real beef with him or didn't even really dislike him. Was just saying it to be saying it, just for like the sake of like some clout, which J. Cole said that he pretty much figured that they really didn't have no real beef with him. So he invited him to sit down with him at his studio, and they recorded it where they were supposed to be interviewing each other, but it was really J. Cole interviewing him.
Yeah.
But and it was interesting because I feel like it was a great idea on J. Cole's part.
Definitely.
I feel like it definitely showed the type of person he is and the type of mentality he has, and just what his whole purpose is that he feels that he has like on this earth, and with his what's it called? And with his influence on people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like it was a great idea on his part. However, I feel like it was a bit premature for Lil Pump because Lil Pump is still 17 years old.
Is that fact?
Yes, he is only 17 years
Wow.
old. So, Lil Pump being a 17-year-old, he doesn't have any, like, at least from what he displayed in the interview, he didn't have any, like, reflective thoughts.
Right.
Like, all of his thoughts, like, J. Cole will be asking him all these questions, and he'll be like, so how do you feel about that now? Or, like, how did that affect you? And Lil Pump's answers are just always like, yeah, I'm chilling.
And
like,
he's still new to the music industry.
yeah, like even like
He's
every
new to life.
yeah, like everything
Quite
is
young.
still like there's no difference really from who he was and the stories he's telling and who he is right now.
Right.
Like, so the interview I feel like was a great idea. I loved the idea behind it, but I just think it was way too soon. Like, it may be in like 5 more years. Like, I'm happy that they talked, but I don't think they needed to film that because if anything, it was just me getting to hear J. Cole talk some more.
It feels like it made sense though, because it kind of proves J. Cole's point of like the lack of substance in this era of music. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all are so young and so inexperienced, and like this is proof. Like, I'm asking you deep ass questions and you just like, I don't even know. So I feel like that kind of like plays into the entire 1985 theme.
I feel like J. Cole sitting down with him. I feel like J. Cole has a thing like that he kind of talks about in the Angie interview with him not wanting to. He feels like by accident he's portrayed to the world that he feels like he's above certain types of music, or like he feels like he's better than certain types of people. Right. And he was saying, like that was never what he was trying to say. He was like, I fuck with like the young people. I want them to do good. So he was like, that's not what I'm trying to do. So I feel like in the interview with him trying to show that, like, I fuck with this young dude. I want him to be successful. I like this whole movement. Great. But like you said, by them sitting down and by him not having much to say, it actually did do like the reverse and kind of show like, these little niggas dumb.
Yeah.
Or something. Like,
also, the thing that I thought about when I saw this happening, because I haven't watched the whole thing yet, but I was like, this is what I was wishing that Joe Budden would have done with his platform instead of being so much of an angry ass old head. The way that he acted towards Lil Yachty was just so wild, when it could have been a very constructive conversation where even if Lil Pump doesn't get it right now, like you said, 5-10 years from now, he's gonna be like, wow, that was really dope that he did that. And now those are things that I'm taking with me now, like even if it doesn't mean to. But like Joe Budden could have done that for Lil Yachty and for other people, like he just be bad.
And Lil Yachty is a way more talkative, like upbeat. Like Lil Yachty would have really been sitting there like, let's talk, let's this.
That's
like
true.
Lil Pump, I feel like was very receptive to this idea, but he really just didn't. I don't know if he was nervous or what it was, but he really just didn't have anything to say. Like he couldn't elaborate on anything. Like, and J. Cole was trying to pull it out of him. Right. Like he would just keep going. Like, do you really think maybe it's this and that? Right. And then he'd be like, well, my bad. Maybe I'm just making up assumptions. And, because he didn't have nothing to say.
Well, shout out to him for that.
Yeah, it was great though.
Asia.
All right, everybody. So I really wanted this to be a knock the fuck off, but my co-host decided that maybe we should put it here, and I guess I have to agree with them after all. I guess I like them stuff. But as many of you know, there has been a big movement of Me Too and women bringing to light of their sexual harassment cases in the entertainment industry. And most recently, we've had people bring light to Morgan Freeman. So apparently, a couple years back, Morgan Freeman did some inappropriate behaviors to some I don't think it was any women who are actresses, but mostly like reporters and stuff who he has come in contact with. So, one of the clips that I saw was a woman who said that she was interviewing Morgan Freeman and his two co-stars for the movie Going in Style. And she said that Morgan Freeman made a comment to her. She was pregnant at the time. Well, I don't have to do that because she was pregnant. She was pregnant.
Hold on, where's your baby?
We haven't seen it.
She was pregnant, and Morgan Freeman looked at her and said, "I wish I was there." And I really felt like this woman was reaching as far as accusing Morgan Freeman of sexual harassment when he made that comment. So the way the clip is played out, I don't know the guy's name. Anyway, he's an actor, also famous actor, and he was saying that he told a woman congratulations on being pregnant once before, and it turns out that she really wasn't pregnant. So everybody kind of chuckled, and Morgan Freeman was like, "Boy, do I wish I was there." And the woman alluded that Morgan Freeman was making that comment to her, when in all actuality, the way I perceived it, and I'm sure the way 99% of the world perceived it, was that he was saying that in response to what his co-star was saying. And I just really feel like women now, like, women are going to be flirted with, but you can't scream sexual harassment and tarnish someone's reputation just because you might have felt uncomfortable, because there are plenty of times when we as women, black women especially, feel uncomfortable in the workplace, at school, anywhere, just walking up and down the street. A woman is always going to have to be on watch, because at the end of the day, a woman has to worry about getting raped when she walks out the door. That's period, or even in her home, in the comfort of her own home, period. A woman is always going to have to be on her P's and Q's, on her toes. But we can't always scream sexual harassment and rape and Me Too when sometimes that's just not the case. Maybe you're reading into it a little bit too much, because I definitely don't think that Morgan Freeman was saying anything sexual in regards to her about "I wish I was there."
She wasn't the only person, though, no?
Well, this is the only clip.
I saw another one.
That's the only clip that I saw.
I saw something different, and where the thing that I saw was the only thing that I needed to see, which was basically something about her trying to like adjust her skirt, and him making some sort of comment of like, "Oh, you don't have to adjust your skirt," or asking if a woman was wearing underwear. Why can't I be like, no, that makes me uncomfortable? I'm just really sick of, and the reason why I said that I didn't want this to knock it the fuck off was because I did not want to allude to the idea that all of us were aligned to thinking that all of this is bullshit. I'm frankly tired of women having to police their feelings constantly. Why can't I be uncomfortable? Why do I have to constantly deal with, why is it always that? Why is it always boys will be boys? Oh, niggas say stuff like that all the time, or boys always flirt, or dudes always do this. I don't give a fuck if I'm in a club. I don't care where I am. I am allowed to feel like you sexualizing me in any way is inappropriate, especially if I'm only here trying to do my job. If all I'm doing is coming here and I just gotta, do a report on you, or I'm a PA, or I'm an actress and I'm I'm alongside you, all I came here to do was work. So you being like, are you wearing any panties with that? Or, you don't have to adjust your skirt. Why should I feel like I'm not allowed to be uncomfortable? Like,
but at the same time,
why do we keep telling women like, no, dim that down, because men are just gonna do that.
But no,
right?
at the same time though, a man could say, she could have been adjusting her skirt and he could have said it looks fine, and that could have been like, oh, he's sexually harassed.
But that's not what happened.
But I'm saying that's what it's a snowball effect. Like, it gets blown out of proportion. Like,
but that's not what happened. What happened was he literally asked her about her opinion.
What I'm talking about is
but we gotta focus on the facts though. Of what happened.
But I'm talking
and what you were
about
saying in the group chat is that these women are not allowed to feel uncomfortable when someone
and that's not what I'm
and
saying.
Women
are allowed to feel uncomfortable, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, at the same time, like, is that worth like tarnishing this man's reputation, his career? You're telling me that him saying something to a woman, saying that, you don't have to adjust your skirt or something, like, women do inappropriate things to men all the time. I'm not saying that. I'm talking great. Well, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but women do things that are inappropriate to men all the time. Men do things that are inappropriate to women all the time. Two rights don't make a wrong. Two wrongs.
Facts. Facts.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
Tongue tied.
Two wrongs don't make a right, but at the same time, Morgan Freeman is an amazing actor. He said one thing to a woman that's worth throwing his whole career away.
No, and that doesn't mean that. But what I'm saying is, as a woman who dealt with that, what happens after I tell y'all that something uncomfortable happened to me is not my business. It's not my fault if everybody in the world now was like, fuck everything that he's ever done, which that's not going to happen. That never happens. That never happens.
But the
Bill Cosby is about to go to jail, and we're still like, we have to keep, but we have to keep Cosby Show so dear to us because of what he did for us, for our culture. We still feel like we have to keep that so dear to us. Nobody feels, in a grand scheme, strong enough. Spotify didn't even take all R. Kelly's music off. Spotify, good fucking try. You only took it off the playlist. But I'm just talking about the fact that men literally get to go on. When all we're saying is women should be able. We live in a society and a culture where women don't feel allowed to simply be like, I guess I shouldn't say that I was uncomfortable. But like, if I do say that I'm uncomfortable, 9 times out of 10, now that we're in a space of like such a heated culture of the Me Too movement, now it's starting to get fired under people's ass. But all of these years, niggas can just go on and do whatever the fuck they want to do.
But at the same time, are you saying this now because you feel like now it's time for me to speak out? Or are you saying this because now you're like, well, everybody else's careers are getting ruined, so I want Morgan Freeman to get thrown under the bus.
We don't know what her motives were, but if that's what happened, then she's allowed to say,
but that's not right though. Like,
how is it not right that she was uncomfortable?
But why is she saying it now? Like, because I feel like if my whole thing is
we gotta stop policing women's feelings and when they decide to.
She do. I'm gonna speak how I feel. This is how I feel.
Because you never on women's side.
I'm a woman.
Anyways, I personally think that the issue is not so much the women stating their feelings. I feel like the issue is more so with media and everybody else. Like, I agree with Bree that if a guy flirted with me or said something to me, or if like I'm at work and my boss said something flirtatious to me, and I went home and like I'm telling my friends, like, that made me feel real uncomfortable. If I went the next day and told somebody else, I feel like I would have every right to say that. But the issue to me is that I don't feel like in the world we live in that there are gray areas. There's only black and white. Definitely. There's either you're 100% a great person and we believe you, but then as soon as we hear that you did something a little bit wrong, now we hate you and you're horrible and we're going to tarnish your career. And my only issue is that I do feel bad that now that these things are coming out, that they're going to try to throw Morgan Freeman in the same pile with Bill Cosby. It's how I feel. But I feel like that's unfair. Like, you have to acknowledge that there are levels to everything, and that all he can do at this point is say, I apologize.
And his response is great.
Right, his response to it was perfect to me.
Definitely.
He apologized if he made anybody feel uncomfortable. He said, I never touched anybody. I never harmed anybody. I thought I was making jokes. I thought I was being friendly. And if you took that as me, making you uncomfortable, my bad. And I feel like that's where it should be left.
Yeah, that's a perfect response.
But the problem is that the media these days doesn't allow things to be left.
And that's not her fault. And women shouldn't be left to feel that because the media then is going to take something that's spiraling out of control, that I just got to sit and sulk in my discomfort. I shouldn't have to feel that way. Anything else?
I just want to say, Morgan Freeman, I just want to say,
you can come to my house and I will shoot all of your monologues and everything that you narrate for the rest of our days, because you're never going to die.
Yes, I feel that way as well.
Morgan Freeman is great, but you cannot say things like that to women. You can't say that to people.
But I'm saying, but all that is...
If I'm in a club and I do like this and a nigga's like, oh, you got panties on under that? If I get a nigga to beat the fuck out of you after saying shit like that to me...
But is it okay if the nigga is fine, though?
What?
I'm asking a question.
No.
But it would be totally acceptable if the nigga looked good and rolled up on you and
I just said no.
You're lying. If a fine ass
when does that ever happen to me? When did you ever see that happen? Why would you say I'm lying?
If a fine ass nigga came, a nigga that you had been eyeing all night long came
and the first thing he said to me was, "Oh, you got panties on? You're fucking canceled. You're canceled."
Not from across the club, walk up to me.
What?
Man, you got panties on.
You gotta believe that. No, and this is what I mean when I say you're not on women's side. Like, that's what I mean. That's wild as fuck.
I know. Have you ever
No. Wait. No, you just said I'm lying.
If it was like
Wait, you just said I'm lying. When have you ever witnessed me let a nigga be that disrespectful and me be like, but he's fine, so I'm just never. What the fuck? What type of respect do you think I have for myself? That's insulting. That's insulting.
You can say whatever you want to say. If a nigga was fine enough,
that's you. If a nigga was fine enough to you and said that to you,
he came up to you in the. And I'm not just saying he came up to you and
said. It's a billion niggas on this earth. If one fine nigga that say some disrespectful shit to you,
that more you?
it's a billion niggas.
You don't like Aja wouldn't go for that either.
No,
right. Aja wouldn't even go for that. What she's talking about.
You get mad at niggas for the slimmest shit.
Nigga came up
Right?
You get mad at niggas that you like for the slimmest shit.
If the right nigga came up to you and said the right thing,
that's not the right thing.
Disrespectful to you or I'm spinning shit. Disrespectful to you or not, you would be like,
how is that the right thing if it's
a part
disrespectful?
of you.
Listen to what you're saying.
A part
How
of
is it
you
the right thing if it's also
part,
disrespectful?
Because what's disrespectful to me may not be disrespectful
if he
to
came
you.
up to you and said,
Oh,
you
right.
got
So let's not tell each other how we would do
Right,
it.
like everyone
Just
just
not how we would do that.
relax.
Right. So just say what you
Yeah,
she's
she's
not
not
doing that.
She's not a
So
liar.
say what you
I feel.
You have never
Right,
seen me
yes.
act like that.
Okay,
That's
the way
crazy
I
that you
feel-
that's
the
crazy
way
that
I
you would even put me in that box.
Aja
That's crazy that
We're
you
going to the next topic on
wild.
this.
That's
I'm
wild as
sorry,
fuck.
everybody.
Go ahead, Tati. No,
We're
Tati,
going to
move
the
on.
next topic.
Tati, move on. We're done. We're done.
Okay. Well, Kanye West. What's in the news?
More about Kanye.
What's in the news again? So Rhyme Fest, who, for those of you that don't know, and I don't know hella about him, but for those of you that don't know, he used to work with Kanye in the past, helped him do music, like a lot of his beginning albums, and now he is the, what would you call it? I don't want to say like CEO, but like he heads the Donda House Foundation in Chicago. Like
Right.
he's in control of it in their non-profit organization that they have to help the youth of Chicago. And so he got on Twitter and tweeted Drake and said, when you get that money from good music, would you mind helping us out and helping us rebuild Donda's house for the youth and blah, 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 blah. And then, like he said again, like Kanye hasn't been interested in helping us. We asked him to help out, and he wasn't interested. He don't want to talk about music and that part. So Kanye didn't.
And by helping out, he meant like financially.
Yes, he said Kanye hasn't been financially helping, or like there in other ways either.
Right.
But
right.
what he was saying was that he asked him to help him with something financially, and Kanye West wasn't interested. He only wanted to talk music. So Kanye didn't say anything, but Kim Kardashian West got on Twitter and responded to him by saying she had a whole slew of random things.
I didn't mean to touch you like that. She had
to touch me because you cute.
See? That's what I right? So we're never talking about that again. 'Cause I refuse to be insulted.
I don't know if I hear something like that. But so Kim said a whole bunch of things. She mentioned saying that Rhyme Fest was just at their studio a few weeks ago, and that there was no problems.
Yeah,
like
she
there
never
was
said
no
nothing.
beef. Everything was great. You were just there trying to play Kanye your music and let him hear what you had going on. She said. She insinuated that he's just angry over the fact that him and Kanye must have had some dispute a while back where Kanye kicked him out of his studio when they were in Hawaii. And she alluded to maybe that was like the reason he was upset. She then went on to say, and just so you know, your flight is canceled. I guess they were about to fly him out somewhere. And she was like, you're canceled. That's you're not coming no more. And then she said, and you better believe, she said, I'll make it my mission to take care of Donda's house from now on. Like, I'll handle that or whatever. So, Rhyme Fest, after seeing that, made a statement saying like, hey Kim, nice for you to reach out. Here's my response. And he basically just went on to say like, he said, long story short, you're talking about a lot of shit that you don't know. And said you're talking about a lot of stuff that you don't know about. Right. You don't understand anything that's going on here in Chicago because your husband doesn't even understand anything here that's going on in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And then shortly after that, the Donda House organization put out a statement saying that they would no longer be carrying the name Donda's House, that they were going to be changing their name and that they wouldn't be going under under that moniker anymore because of Kim Kardashian's tweets, and that they were just going to leave that for her to pick up. Like, since she wants to run Donda's house, they were like, we're gonna leave that for her and let her do it. And I don't know if I fully believe either one of them in the situation, but the only thing to me that kind of made me feel like Kim and Kanye may be right is the fact that I don't like that Rhyme Fest tweeted Drake.
Yeah.
And that, to me, you started off this rant by diminishing it with like petty beef that's happening right now between like rappers. Right. Like, and if you have a real problem, like you're talking about your non-for-profit organization,
I'm about to say, this is a business.
Right? That has nothing to do with Drake. And if you why? Like so that's the only thing to me that made it seem like, oh no, you are being petty. This is some underlining like BS that's going on here, and now you're just using this moment to make people like turn against me even more because people are already against Kanye at the moment, type of thing. But who knows?
A bunch of conversations that could have happened over the phone.
Yeah, like it was just
across a conference room.
And if y'all really have been kicking it in recent times, then there's just. People are just weird. Like, I just think that business has no business on Twitter. Yeah. Like, if this is serious, and I feel like the moment that you put it on Twitter, you already made it seem less legit. And you've already made me kind of look at it like, boy, like, now I don't know if I can believe you or not. Because why are you on Twitter?
I saw a lot of people actually blaming Kim Kardashian for the fact that Donda's house is not...
being funded?
Yeah, being funded by Kanye West. And they were saying, like...
they blame them for everything.
But they were saying because... they were saying because his mom... Ever since his mom died, he's been crazy. Which, he's definitely changed since his mom died, which is understandable. Right. They were saying, like, because of his mental illness and depression and all of that kind of stuff... It wouldn't, if Kim was holding him down as a wife, none of that would be occurring, and none of that would be, what did they say?
Like, that wouldn't have fallen off the wayside with his health.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if he's really going through something, having a good wife is not going to make it any better or worse. Like, if he's really going through something, she can offer her support, but he probably needs to seek, like, professional help. Like, holding him down as a wife is not gonna make Donda's house any more successful.
Right, and you don't know about, like, within the scope of marriage, like the things that you agree upon with your husband. You don't know if Kanye ever told her, like, here's what I need you to do. Like, if things like fall off, I need you to definitely make sure that Donda's house doesn't. You know, like, you don't know the conversation.
And even if he did, I still feel like even if he really had sat down with her and be like, you know what, I need you to handle this. If she did it, I just, like, ultimately, this is Kanye's thing. This is your responsibility that you took on. So if I'm doing a million other things and I was like, oh shit, I forgot, or oh shit, like something was going on, and I did it, like, it's not. It's just crazy. Like, it's not his. This has nothing to do with Kim. This is about Kanye.
But I think that everybody likes to revert back to that.
Yeah, like they always. Yeah, that's the easiest thing for people to grasp on and be like, it's Kim. Like, how long have they been married? 4 years.
Yeah, right? And my whole thing is, I feel like they would have gotten married anyway because they were so close. Like, he always liked her. They were good friends already.
He was popping up on and he was obsessed with her.
Yeah, no, he
was always doing like
her.
skits about her and like daydreaming about being a part of their family. Like, and he was on like random episodes of the show in the past. Like, he was definitely obsessed. But that's not his matter.
Cool. Let's get into the petty parlor.
So one of our favorite shows, Insecure. So of
Coming back in
our favorite castmates on the show, Tasha, whose real name is Dominique Perry, and Dro, whose real name is
Sarunas J. Jackson.
Whose real name is
not
that, had a baby.
It says Sarunas, then you says not Sarunas.
I don't know which one it is. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Do you know how to pronounce it?
It just sounded funny.
Oh, Zinatress?
That's what it made me think.
But apparently they had a baby. And the reason that's not why they're in the petty parlor. The reason why they're in the petty parlor is apparently he was dating a girl named Kayla. No.
Mrs. Me.
Huh?
Dominique.
I said it misses me. I never knew her name.
Oh,
Kaylin.
Oh, Kaylin. Yeah.
But I was about to say like her last name, but I don't know her last name. He was dating this girl named Kaylin, who's from Are You the One? That's how I found out about her MTV show called Are You the One? And she apparently found out about the baby the same way we found out when the Shade Room posted it. So she got on like her IG live and like just said like it's crazy. Like these niggas will be in your crib, taking you out on dates, doing all types of shit, and you'll never even know they had a baby on the way.
Never.
But she posted that and deleted it though. So unless you were like, if the Shade Room hadn't reposted it, nobody would have known, because I personally follow her because I really like her, and I didn't even know that she had done that. So she deleted it, but the Shade Room saw it and reposted it. Right. So of course she had to like go on her page and like, you know, talk to her fans about stuff, because she doesn't really get messy like that on her Instagram and stuff. So she had to like discuss it and say, you know, we've had a conversation since then. And she was like, so I'm not like as heated as I was. And she was like, but I was rightfully so in my feelings that I found out the dude I was dating was having a baby. And I didn't know.
Had a whole baby. And that it was so, and it makes it even more just like
it's a hard
suspect, because I think everybody saw Dominique Perry's maternity shoot photos. Didn't everybody see that?
When she was saying how she's just gonna raise her by herself and all that.
Nobody knew anything about the father, like ever, and let alone like put together that it was somebody from the same show. Like it was just so random. It was so random. So
she was
it makes
on a
sense.
bashing streak, like saying
Who was
like
she?
Dominique Perry.
Oh,
she was just on her like single mother kick, saying like, we don't need anybody else. It's just gonna be me and my baby girl, and I'm gonna raise you by myself, and like stuff like that. So you wouldn't think it was somebody in social media. You wouldn't think it was in somebody in such close proximity,
right,
to
it's
her.
Just
like somebody you interact with probably like on a daily basis.
All I saw were the pictures. All I knew was she was pregnant. I didn't know if she was married, and maybe she was just one of those low key actresses who just don't post her man all the time. Yeah. I didn't think into it at all. I was just like, oh, Shorty from Insecure is pregnant. She looks great. Boom. Yeah. Who would have thunk? But then also, but that's what makes it even like more wild, and that's just a perfect segue into our fuckboys main word, because what the
niggas do that
clearly
all
y'all aren't together,
bro.
Clearly the two were not together. She's been going on talking about how she's going to be a single mom and stuff. So why couldn't you tell me? It's not like you were having a secret relationship that I didn't know about or whatever. Like, so why couldn't from jump, unless you cheated on me when you made that baby, and that's why he was scared to tell her. But if that was something that happened before,
it was probably that.
Why did you keep that?
But it was
secret?
also probably because dudes don't, and I'm sorry for the dudes that are in the room, but dudes don't tend to be proactive. Mm-hmm. So like, I'm just putting things together. This is all just brainstorming. But like, if Dominique Perry is over here, like you said, saying like, I'm gonna raise my baby by myself, he could have been like, I don't know who baby that is. Like, you know, when she came and was like, I'm pregnant, he could have been like, how do I know that's my baby? And so all of this time, just parlaying with his girl, thinking like, I mean, I fucked her, but she's pregnant, but that may or may not be my business. And then, you know, I mean, the cat's out of the bag.
Like he been knew that was his baby.
But no, probably. But you know how niggas just want to be like, I don't know that though, because you're not my girl type thing.
I feel like she knew and just wasn't around, and that's I didn't see any of her stuff, but for I just say that she was so on her single mom kick. Yeah. I feel like that's what usually does it when you feel like you're not getting the support from the partner, and he knows about it and is choosing.
But
to
it
not
also could have been like she came to him and said like, I'm dating you and I'm dating someone else. Like when they first were messing around or whatever, like I'm fucking with you, I'm fucking with somebody else.
So many things. Yeah.
And then she turned up pregnant. So of course I'm not. If I was the dude, of course, even though I really hate when niggas do stuff like this, because just tell me.
You would do it if you were a dude.
No. Just tell me.
You're a liar.
Come on, y'all. Whatever.
If the girl was pretty enough.
Wow, y'all just like all that.
Tell us about the post you found.
The post.
Yeah, the process.
Yeah, we were gonna get to that, but no, like, and this is one of many processes that niggas
that
be
was
talking
his
about.
Way of that.
Because if
he said, but tell us about.
Okay, so like the main word is about fuckboys, but the theme of it is about this idea that men seem to have in their minds that you're a ride or die if you put up with all of my shit, and I promise that if you put up with all of my shit, one day I'm gonna get tired of giving you shit, and then I'm just gonna give up and marry you, and that's gonna be cool. It's not true, but you know what I'm saying. But like in men's mind, it's just like I should be able to do what I want to do, and your way of proving to me that you love me is based on how well you handle that, and your ability to handle it. Like you just being willing to handle me not being shit, basically. And that can very well be one of those things. So this young lady who was like, wow, I was dating this nigga. We were having a good time. We were going on dates. He was just at my house eating my food. We'd be kicking it. And all of a sudden I find out on the shade room that he has a baby.
But then at the
and he could be on her line still and being like, no, I fucked up, blah, 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 blah. But like in his mind, it's just like, wow, you gonna fucking leave me? You gonna not talk to me ever again over this? You know what I'm saying? Like it's not enough in the nigga's mind. Like, yes, I would not talk to you ever again if you just up and had a baby and I thought that it was just like we were dating. Even if we weren't in an exclusive relationship, a baby is wild. Like finding out, it's already a doozy for you to be like, it's a doozy to be having regular sex with someone. Like, and y'all not boyfriend and girlfriend, but you're the person that I fuck all the time. And in addition to fucking, you've escalated it to even other things. You've escalated. Let me see, I'm getting personal. You've escalated. You want to go on dates. You want to go out. You want to do all of this like PDA stuff. So it clouds the whole vision of the casual sex. And then all of a sudden, it's a doozy to even find out that you fucking somebody else. Because when do you have time? Because you all up under me all the damn time. So that's one thing. But to have someone pregnant and then to go through the whole pregnancy and not say shit, you got a baby, like a person. A human person.
I just said on Facebook not too long ago, niggas love to disappear from Facebook and pop up like with a baby talk about my biggest blessing.
My world.
Like, bitch, why you ain't saying nothing?
Just like, baby girl, you my world. It's like,
you know who did
but
that?
she wasn't until you found out you got that test back.
Chris Brown.
Well, that was different, guys.
Right.
No, it was niggas.
The show became just. Once somebody leaked that you had a baby, it was just the love of my life.
I honestly, because like social media is like very vague. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as much as people put on social media, we will never know even 50% of the story just from looking at social media. So to us, it looks like that's funny. Like, you just pop up with a baby, but you never know what that process is like. So it's not even that, but like to be the person that you're fucking with. And that's just one of those processes that niggas really feel like, I mean, trust the process. I'm gonna marry you. I'm gonna commit to you. I'm gonna do this monogamy shit with you eventually. But bitch, until then, you gotta prove to me that you down for all my bullshit. Like, let me fuck everybody that I see sometimes.
Yeah, but then when they do all this shit to us and we snap on them, then we wrong and we crazy.
Right.
But y'all make us crazy.
You drive a bitch off the brick truck, and then you want to be like, wow, why?
But we wasn't.
Why are you acting the way that you acting right now? Why are you in my phone snapping off? Like, why? And it's like, and me and Tasha used to talk about this all the time, just like the curse of being the cool girl. I'm talking to my therapist about it as well, because it's a real issue. Just like being so like, you know what? I'm not, and it's not even like on purpose. I'm not argumentative. I'm not about to argue with anybody. I'm not gonna do it, period. So like, when you don't go with me, or I don't go with you, but you do things that are like, you're crossing boundaries still of my standards, but I'm constantly questioning whether I have the right to call you out on it, or whether I have the right to be like, I didn't like that happened. You know what I'm saying? It's the fucked up thing about being a cool girl, but at the same time, these niggas all over. I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're the cool girl or you're the crazy girl, because the crazy girl is gonna. That's how I felt, girl. That's really how I felt. But like the crazy, whatever.
The sad thing to me is when niggas is like, you know, trust the process, you know, like, I'm gonna marry you, and girls will put up with all this bullshit during the dating process, and then they do end up with the person or marrying them in the long run, but then he's up cheating on you and shit, and it's like, but
he been showing you this whole time.
Why did you honestly think that anything would change because y'all got married? Like, if somebody, yes, that part, if somebody is showing you who they are, if I'm showing you during our dating process that I'm just cheating, like, if you choose to stay, that is fine. The issue is like, if you can be okay with that type of lifestyle, that's fine. But when you find out he cheated on you again, or find out he cheated on you again after that, just be cool.
I just wish that niggas were honest, like, because there's no shame.
When I got married.
There's no shame in not being a monogamous person.
Yeah.
All of us don't know if we're truly monogamous people, or if, like, nobody knows if humans are even meant to be monogamous, like, on a global scale. Like, all of us are just meant to just be with one person. Like, no, I don't think that that's true. But it's just about knowing yourself. And if you know yourself, and niggas don't take the time to get to know themselves, and they just out in the world doing whatever, getting distracted, and not, like, paying attention to who they are. Because you can easily just come to a woman and be like, look, I love women. I love communicating with women. I love building connections with women. And that's what I'm going to do. And you're either going to be one of those women or you're not. But the problem is the man's ego, and you're selfish. Because you can't be honest, because you know that honesty is gonna. Some people are not gonna be down for everything. Like if I come here,
lead to her being like, okay, well, I'm gonna do the same thing, and they can't handle that either.
That too, but also just like, but even for men who are okay with that, they like if they have their sights out, because men are true hunters. You know, I do believe that instinctually, like they have tunnel vision on their prey. And once they have their mind made up, like, that's the one that I want, they're very persistent about that. And they'll get conniving about it, and I don't even know if they noticed it. But they know in their minds, like, I can't tell her that I fuck a bunch of bitches. Or I can't tell her. Or, you know, they read a woman, and a woman is like Tati, who is, like, very respectable off bat. Like, nothing about Tati is, like, sideways. And you try to tell this girl, I was thirsty. You try to tell this girl, like, yeah, I've had sex with like 130 people last year. Like, that's cool. And you know that she might be the type of girl that's like, nah, it's not. So you're not going to tell her that because you're scared that she's not going to stick around.
I just saw a post that said it's not about body count. It's about your mental health.
Yes, STDs.
Your STDs.
I agree.
And, like, other things.
I agree. Because if you, like, having sex with 100 people and being dignitized by 100 people, now being dignitized by that many people is a problem.
So that means you still would take all of them back if they all hit you up right now? Like that?
What you mean?
Dignitized?
No, yeah, like dignitized, like, I'll let you do whatever.
Yeah, like each of those 100 times you were
you were like wild about it. Like, that's an issue. That means
you don't love
Like, you
yourself.
don't stay.
You don't love yourself.
So, a backup dancer. I mean, that's nasty. At least the security guard can get you backstage. She don't love herself. No, exactly. I agree though. It's not about body count. It's about what you took from that. And if you took baggage from that and you still holding on to that, well, child.
And I honestly feel like that women, in a lot of circumstances, and of course, this doesn't speak for all women, but in a lot of cases, I feel like if you're honest with a woman, like, there are a few things that will make them, like, run away.
Why do you be
because
lying?
women, I feel like, they will always fall on that, like, you know, he's telling me the truth. Like, he's honest with me. Like, at least, like, whatever he's doing, even if it's hurting my feelings and I'm going home crying every day, the fact that I can be like, he told me, though. I knew that, though.
Transparency
They will kill themselves. Women will kill themselves to stay with you just because they're like, he's honest, though.
I'm still gonna try to figure this out.
And like I said, it's gonna be a respect thing, too. Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna respect you. My feelings might be hurt. But I'm gonna respect you that you came to me.
Because how can you not?
You came to me as a man.
You don't have to trust. Yeah.
That's building trust.
Yeah, exactly. And you said what you didn't. You're setting the boundaries and saying, well, this is what I want, this is what I don't want, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm not gonna do. And the fact that you were adult enough to come to me and say those things to me, I'm gonna be like, now I want to fuck with you even more.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, too. And I think that women need to understand that, like, we don't have to waver on our standards. Because one of the things that I've noticed about myself, I'm just at a point right now with people, not just romantic partners. There are certain things that are just not going to happen. And if they do happen, you're blocked. I don't have to talk. I don't have to talk to anybody. I don't have to talk to my mama if I don't want to. I don't have to talk to you. I don't have to keep up with you. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I feel that way, like, I will cut anybody off. I really will. Like, I will cut off anyone. But, like, women always feel like we have to, like, be flexible with our standards. Even, like, I feel like this is something that happens in a lot of romantic comedies, where women are always just like, you're too picky. You're too this. You should just be da-da-da-da. And it's just like, no. Because if I want a nigga to come with this, and this, why should I have to waver on that? Because I gotta come with enough tough skin to deal with as many times as he lie and cheat on me. So why can't I be like, well, in addition to that, you gotta be a 6-figure nigga or more, and you gotta do this, and you gotta do that, because I gotta be all these other things emotionally.
Honestly, I think
Not
women,
to say that I'm like that. I don't
women
care about
are way more lenient than what what we will deal with and what a man is.
Definitely.
Men are way more sensitive. Men are way more picky, and women are way more resilient than men. Because a woman, I always say this, a woman will get her heart broken and be like, okay, well, now
what
I keep going. Right. A man will be like, I got my heart broken when I was 3 years
Fuck
old.
these bitches.
She didn't bring me a lollipop back, and I ain't never
Fuck
trusted
these
bitches since.
bitches.
And they will hold that resentment like against women forever, and it's just like, damn, bro, I didn't even know you when you was 3.
And that's based off of like one thing. Meanwhile, here we are, the kingdom of women, walking around knowing niggas ain't shit on a grand scale, and we still want one.
So
So
some of the
bad.
things that men
So
do,
bad.
I feel like is the right way to do it, and women just aren't that way because we're so understanding. Like, there's nothing wrong with if a person does you wrong, cut that person off immediately. Like the first time
but
it
don't
happens,
hold the other
or
person
she cheated
accountable
on
for
me.
that person.
I'm done. Yeah,
Right.
not that part, but I mean the fact that like women now will always be like, this is the other way around.
Right.
Like, you wouldn't put up with me if I was doing you, and it'd be like,
Right.
why should he? Like, why are you? Like,
Right.
don't, like, it's
So
not,
stop.
don't get mad at, if I was a dude, it'd be like, don't get mad at me because I love myself. Because I'm like, oh, you're hurting me, so I'm not gonna fuck with you.
But that's not
no more.
even
Like,
self-love, though. It's
just-
coming from a misogynistic place. It's coming from a place of like women don't deserve it. It's coming from entitlement, and that's something different. But like, we could still take heed and be like, how can I take that and make that something that makes sense? Like, make it make sense, sis. All you have to do,
Make it make sense.
niece. I say niece now because super said. like, just make it make sense. Just like you said, all you have to do. I feel like when Trina was on the read last year. It was like a sermon to me. I was listening to it like, yes, why don't we all act like this? She was just like, I come into the room knowing exactly who I am, knowing that I know that you know who I am. So for you to have the audacity to approach me, everything you do after that approach, you on a tightrope, nigga. It's over with for you. If you do one thing, it's done. Like, no, you don't get a second chance with me. I feel like all people should be that way.
If it's really a hurtful thing, like not like the little like, you know, petty things that happen in relationships, but like if it's somebody really hurt you, like
I say we give no.
Well, she just was saying it to me, right? Well, she just was saying it to me.
baby, I don't want to talk about it. Let's just move on. Because that's another thing that Bree preaches is that humans have the right to change their mind all the time. We didn't know what happened in 5 minutes. But it happens.
No, I'm joking. I'm talking about the big stuff. Like, you don't get to lie to me. You don't get to shit
That's
on
what
me.
I said, and you said no.
That's
I
why I just said I'm joking. Hi, we're on a new thing now.
Shame in that.
I'm dogging this bitch. It's 33, 39, 38, 37.
In 3? That was a good song. 39, 38, 37. That's it. So that was the main word.
But yes,
And
the
we
big
finna go.
shit. Ain't nothing to cut that bitch off.
Yeah, no, I mean, or not even, or if you think that whatever your standard is your standard, whatever your standard
Yeah,
is.
big is different to everybody.
Exactly. Don't let nobody be like, no. But my whole thing is being mad. What I was saying to Aja, okay, you're gonna be mad, but then what?
Then I'm gonna show up to somebody
hold people accountable.
Keep
If you mad,
put
stop
sugar
talking
in
to
their
them.
tank, put Miralax in their food because
Being
if I
mad,
feel
then you
shitty,
gotta
you
not
gotta
talk to
feel
them.
shitty too.
I
would never do that.
I'm
I'm
just
just
not.
totally joking.
Because when you're in a relationship, even though, I mean,
I haven't
the
been in a
situation that we're
relationship, so
referring
I don't know
to
shit
isn't
about
a
that.
relationship. But when you're in a relationship, because you're mad at somebody and you want to express that you didn't like something and would appreciate if they didn't do it again, doesn't mean that you have to not
That's
talk
that.
to them.
But I'm saying, but we're talking about Aja.
Right. I said, like,
I'm
of
saying
course
it's
that's
different.
not.
It's not like it wouldn't just be that. It wouldn't just be like, hey, I just need you to know that this
Like,
wasn't
she's
nice.
fucking crazy.
You just told me I'd be taking good advice from you now, and now you saying that I wouldn't.
I didn't say that. I said that.
I wasn't there for that one, so I don't know.
Honesty, and I stood up.
Wait, I said you take good advice from me now.
You said you just told me I'm much more open in things nowadays, and I take good advice.
I don't think I said that.
Ooh.
But okay.
I wasn't there for that one, so I don't know.
I just think that words mean things. If I said something around that and you're using the wrong words,
This is crazy.
What are you doing on my show?
What are you doing?
You're supposed to be over
That would
here.
be if it was just chaos
Yeah.
and things just start flying. What are you doing?
I wish you had a lot of papers on
You're
there.
ruining
That is
everything.
really wild.
I said that you take good advice. I don't think I
open
said
to
that.
taking.
And she's really blown that
No,
she wouldn't
because-
even think.
No, I just don't remember saying that. Me saying that you take good advice. You have to understand that words mean things to me. So if you read it as that is what I said, but I use different words, that's what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of the exact wording that I use. I don't remember saying you take good advice now.
You gotta call her, basically.
Yeah, because I don't remember saying that. That's all I'm saying. You probably do, girl. But you're still dramatic. I was like, but you're still dramatic.
Her ass.
What is happening?
Me bring Tori's ass. I ain't never got the bitch face like this. Learn something from this.
You're crazy.
Oh, I'm gonna whoop her ass in 56.
Y'all are nuts on Sunday.
54. 53. 52.
I don't know what's happening.
51.
We're gonna get into praises due though, cause you got one.
So praises due, I came across an amazing picture of a woman. She was getting married. It was her wedding day, and unfortunately for her, I'm assuming she was having an outside wedding.
Looks like
And it started pouring raining, not a drizzle, pouring raining. And of course, like they said, the bride was like freaking out. She was upset. She was emotional.
Yeah.
But all of her groomsmen, and they're all black, by the way,
her husband's girl.
all African American. All of the groomsmen came to her rescue. First of all, I just wonder if they had these white
That's what I'm
umbrellas
saying.
on
Where
deck.
did they get those
But
from?
they
were
all
in sync.
had white umbrellas, and they all just like crowded around her while they were getting drenched themselves, and just crowded around her and just like followed her all the way down the aisle just to make sure that like none of her makeup, her clothes, her shoes, nothing got messed up. And that was just amazing, and it was sweet, and it was just a great
Oh, it made it to ABC News. That's
picture.
Great.
It was
Yeah.
just great to see, and I loved that they were black.
Yeah, and I read it and it was saying that like 90% of her dress was dry and her entire like her face like nothing got messed up.
And black men, I love it with men in general, but I love black men's friendships and like how deep they run
much.
when they genuinely love each other. And to
So
me,
much.
that's all that picture was.
That
like
is.
because they're drenched. Like it's pouring raining. And they just cool. Like that's what we gotta do. This my man's queen. Of course we got to like yeah. Like I just love seeing like true. I just love seeing true friendship displayed
it's
with men
clean.
because
It
you don't
breaks
see
me
that all the
down.
time. So I just love seeing
It does break me down.
Yeah.
Tasha, ain't nobody thinking about you.
I'm not fucking talking to you. I'm talking to my producer.
You talking about me and pointing at me, so I can insert.
You're not the
myself.
only bitch over there. You're not
You
the
see
only
what she
bitch to
talk-
my right.
Whatever.
I am over here. But she probably wants to talk about me.
Your pink slips are coming in the mail.
Thank you,
Baby,
ladies,
I don't need a
for the
pink
good
slip.
show.
Actually, give me a pink slip so I can claim unemployment.
You know I'm in HR. I will get that canceled real fucking
Baby,
quick.
and no, you
That's my
won't.
claim.
And I'll fight the
That's
fuck
my
out of
claim
it.
to fame at work. I dispute every case we get. Nobody gets unemployment on my watch. Nobody. I'm
That's
sorry.
crazy.
Stop
She
getting
don't wanna
fired.
see
The fuck? I didn't make you get fired.
That's crazy.
But what if they
Anyway.
didn't deserve it.
If they didn't deserve it, then we don't even get those. But if you got fired, I'm gonna tell them everything you did. I got everything on paper. Everything is signed. You don't get unemployment on my watch, sis, because that's coming out of the checks that I get. That's coming out of their money, and they gotta pay me. No, that shit dead. Because if I turn around and don't get no raise, because they like, oh, we're paying all this unemployment. Anyway, child, you ready to go? Cause you
I'm
can
ready
go.
to fight you.
You
I'm
can
ready
go.
to actually fight you.
I don't
Let's
fight.
wrap it up. Because she know.
No, I
Bring
don't
them
fight.
out, bring them out.
Yes, she
It's
know.
hard to yell when the
Put the
rails in your mouth.
Bring them out, bring them out.
I just keep
Bring them out, bring them out.
ATL.
This was an interesting episode, but I'm very thankful that y'all stuck around as long as y'all did. If y'all did that, please continue to do all the things that you've always done. Anybody have any life is a catalog? Life is a catalog.
Is the fight coming up?
Bitch. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bitch. I apologize. I'm not gonna call you. a
It's
bitch.
a catalog because it's gonna be a fight coming up.
It's a catalog
Coming
because the fight's coming up.
up.
Anyway,
Okay.
please continue to do all the things that you've always done and follow us on all the places to be followed. You can follow us at A Way with Words Podcast on Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, and Instagram as well. You can also follow us. Nope, you can't. You can follow me Bree.stories on Instagram and at Bree_stories on Twitter and at ATati on Instagram and at Hey Tati on Twitter and at Asia everywhere. Yes, everywhere. And don't forget to also be following MJM Kid because he got all the things that you need for all of your visual needs. And hey, we need your ratings and things too. So be doing the ratings on the iTunes and commenting on the things. Just be present.
Share our posts.
Fuck with us. I always run into people and they be like, oh my God, oh, everyone's podcast. I'm like, that's crazy. I didn't see you in one comment or like.
Thank you. Calling y'all out.
So please do that. Just do that.
That's so shady. That's crazy. Didn't even know we had fans.
Just do it. I know it's
years.
weird. Just do it. We love you guys. We'll love you back. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Everybody say bye.
Bye.